Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro by Mapper Forward, friends. I'm Lee Safar, and on today's episode of the podcast, we're talking about how much you should be charging for a bag of roasted coffee. Before we get started, thanks to our presenting sponsor, the Coffee Roasters Mastermind Group. From July, our Roasters Mastermind groups will be hosted or coached by Danish coffee roasting champ Ante Bikic. And if you'd like to register, head to the show notes, mapperforward.org/group coaching, and choose on that page, you'll see 4 different mastermind group options. Find the Coffee Roasters one and start registering today. Some of the time zones are changing for those groups because Ante is based in, obviously, on a different part of the world than Ann Cooper is. Ann is moving on to some really great stuff. We are so excited for what she's got coming up. And because of those commitments, Ante is now taking over the coaching from those groups. You will have seen Ante in a recent episode on the podcast with Ann, 2 episodes actually, with Ann Cooper, and it was awesome. We're very excited to see Ante join the Mapper Forward team. So, how much should you be charging for a bag of coffee? This is an age-old question in the coffee industry. I see it in lots of forums. I see it asked on social media all the time, on different people's chats and things like that. How much should you be charging for a bag of roasted coffee? Now, if I've said it once, I've said it a million times. How much does it cost you to create that bag of coffee is the answer to that question. So, until you know how much it costs you to create a bag of coffee, which is called a cost breakdown analysis, until you know what that is, you cannot answer the question, how much should I charge for this bag of coffee? It is so important for you to do that before you come up with an answer. Because how much should I charge for a bag of coffee is very different to how much do I want to charge for a bag of coffee, or how much will customers pay for a bag of coffee. One common mistake that I see made many, many times over is that people look at what the average is being charged in the market for a bag of coffee, and they say, well, if my competitor is selling a 12-ounce bag of coffee or a pound or a half kilo, whatever measure it is you're selling, if they're selling it for $18, I should be able to sell it for $18. So here's why that doesn't work. First of all, you don't know what their costs are compared to yours. They may have much lower costs than you. And if that's the case, they may have a greater profit margin than you, and therefore it works for them to charge it at that price. Second of all, are the coffees the same coffee? They may be paying more or less for you than the coffee that you're using. So is the coffee comparable? Number 3, what are their business objectives behind selling this coffee for that price? So it may be that they're prepared to take a loss on one particular coffee because it may be something that they are using to promote a different product. It may be a lead generator for a different product. It may be that they have this coffee and they couldn't move it, so therefore they're selling it for a cheaper price than what you're prepared to sell it for. We don't know. There are a number of reasons why you should not base your pricing off, or the primary reason for your pricing, off what other people are doing. So let's bring it back to the first question you should be asking yourself. How much does it cost me to create a bag of coffee? Now this, as I said, is called a cost breakdown analysis. And this means that what you're going to do is you're going to take your COGS, so the cost of goods sold involved in that particular product. So how much does it cost me in total to cost out everything that I see in this product in front of me? How much is that? But that's just one part of it. The next part is, what is the portion that I need to associate to this product of my operating expenses? So how much does it cost to get everything together for the product I'm going to sell? And how much does it cost me to run my business as a percentage? So let's say you've decided, okay, so my operating expenses, both fixed and variable, for every product I'm going to mark up by 45% or 60% because it's really expensive to run my business. And so therefore, when I look at my overall profit and loss statement, over the past year, from all the revenue that we've made, 60% of all the money that left the business was associated to my operating expenses. So therefore, for every product I sell, I've got to take my COGS and I've got to mark it up by 60% and make sure that 60% of the revenue that I'm generating is associated to, I'm going to go directly to my operating costs. So what this ends up meaning is that whatever you're selling your product for, you've already accounted for your operating costs in that, and you know that you're pricing your product correctly. Then the third part of it is that on your COGS plus your operating costs plus the margin that you're going to make off that is going to end up being the total amount that you should be selling your bag of coffee for. You may need some help from your accountant to understand these numbers. They're never as straightforward as you think that they are, but you can figure it out on your own. If you need some help with that, check out the content that we've got. You can search our website for profit and loss statement or for cost breakdown analysis, or consider joining one of the small business mastermind groups for a couple of months, and we're happy to go through all of this stuff for you. I hope this has been helpful. Make sure that you're pricing your coffee and all of your products so that your business is always leaning towards profitability rather than hoping and praying that everything that you're selling your coffee at is making your profit. Confidence in your pricing will help you make decisions and know which customers you should be selling to and what you shouldn't be selling to. I mean, understanding this reaps rewards for our clients beyond anything I can help you understand. The number of people who have roasting companies that didn't have coaching before and have perhaps shut down businesses and started them again. And when they did start them again, they came to us for coaching and they said, now that I understand this stuff, now I know why my business went under. And that's just, it's so rewarding for us at Map Forward because our tagline is conspiring to each other's success. So when we can help businesses and we can see businesses starting again or taking a different direction in the current business that they've got to make sure that they are profitable, this means that we're creating a legacy within the industry of sustainability in business practices. Not from a carbon emissions perspective, but making sure that the business sustains the test of time. And that's important in our life currencies as a business. I hope this has been helpful, friends. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you are. We really appreciate your support. Peace, love, and peanut butter. Have an amazing rest of your day.